Hello everyone, Orange here. Welcome to another video. Welcome to TOA Hard level 70 for the month of April 2016. It's actually May, but I'm calling it April because this is the reset that happened in April. So, we are on level 70. Yes, we did it! This was the level that I was stuck on, and I finally did it, so here's the video. I think this video is pretty important for in general, because this is like my first clear of this level. Of course, it depends on what boss is on this level, because certain bosses are harder, so I think it's important to show you guys like my rune quality as I'm clearing TOA hard, basically. So you guys can look back and see like, what were her runes like when she first cleared 70? What boss was it? So, let's get into the video. I thought I'd mention something about this wave before the boss. If you actually let the Briennes res, they will kind of help you kill the Renas a little bit faster, so if you can possibly let them res, it could help you, because the Renas are annoying. That shield, oh my god. So that's just a little tip. Okay, so this is 70, it's Vero. The strategy is the same as normal. Kill the Huadiams first, then kill the Pernas, then kill Vero. And then try to let the Huadiams die to dots if you can, because if you let them die to dots, the other Huadiams passive will not trigger. So that's what I did. And then, if it's possible, put the unrecoverable debuff on the Huadiams so they don't get healed every turn by the Pernas, which I kind of tried to do, but like I didn't try it like too hard. I was just mainly like focusing on sleeping everything so they wouldn't move, and then I would try to HP debuff them or whatever. And I chose to run Arya. Spectra is viable, he does work for this level, but I didn't try him because I passed it with Arya. She kind of made more sense to me because of her glancing and her despair stuns, because I think it's like pretty important to have everything stunned on this level compared to like other levels. Well, most levels it's pretty important to have all of the ads stunned, so I figured I think she'd be like a little bit more useful maybe. So I put her in there to get that glancing on Vero because he was doing a lot of damage to my Mav because my Mav sucks. His runes are not very good. So I put her in there and it worked out. Everything was pretty good. So Spectra does work though if you guys do not have Arya for some reason. We just got the Arya Hall of Heroes, so everyone watching this probably should have Arya at this point because no one from the past can watch my videos. Like, there's no like people in the past. I don't know, maybe you guys couldn't farm the Hall of Heroes for some reason, I don't know. If that's possible, like, in the way future, I guess, if anyone's watching my video, like, from a long time from now, who doesn't have Arya, then maybe I could see how you guys don't have her because you didn't farm the Hall of Heroes. So Spectra does work, and, yeah, so I haven't tried Spectra, and I honestly do not want to do this level again because it was a long level, so maybe in the future I'll try Spectra out to speed the level up, in the future. But Arya worked for me, so, yeah, this is a pretty standard boss level team, I guess. As I've been doing TOA hard, I kind of found that this team works for, like, a lot of levels and a lot of bosses, because a lot of bosses are, like, similar. You just want to keep the boss taunted and the ads stunned and let the ads die to dots. So it kind of just works for, like, a lot of stuff, and I'm amazed. I'm like, wow, that's, like, so convenient because I don't have to, you know, whip out anything too weird. Everything just works for every level, basically. So I'm slowly working on that Huadiam on the right, and eventually he will die to dots. It'll just take a while, and some of my units are getting low, but I have stuns up. The thing that was really concerning me was the Pernas rezzing, because, like, I wanted to make sure that I could slow them and glance them as soon as they rezzed, because if they would get even a couple attacks off on my Mav, he could risk dying. Then if he dies, it's like, that could be a wipe, because Vero has been doing a lot of damage to Mav. So I was really concerned about the Pernas rezzing and making sure I had my slow on them and stun them like as soon as possible after they rezzed. So that was kind of the main concern of the level, and then for this free rune removal day coming up in like 5 days, I'm mainly going to focus on my TOA hard units, which are Mav, Spectra, and Arya. Those are like the 3 units that I'm going to look at and see like what are my options. I want to get them in a good place rune-wise, so that's kind of what I'm going to be working on, and then look out for my May rune video. I'll have that video out a couple days after free rune removal day. I mean, it could be like the day after, depending on how it goes, I guess. So look out for that video. It'll be out shortly after free rune removal day. So you guys can check out my runes and like what I'm working on every month, basically. So I'm gonna do a monthly rune video so you guys can look back and see what I've been working on every month. I try to work on like a couple units every month. I don't do anything like, I don't change like a lot of stuff. I just work on what I need to, basically. And I just only build the units that I really need to progress. I don't build anything for fun right now, because I like to be really conservative with my resources and make sure that I'm using everything well and wise to help me progress through the game, basically. So also, I guess I'll plug my Path to Decency series. Most of you guys like already know about it, but I have a video series called Path to Decency, and every week I make a video outlining what I did in the last week, progression-wise, and what I plan to do in the future. So if you guys want to follow along, you guys can see the decisions that I'm making every week on my account as to like what I'm gonna do next. So as I've been playing Summoner's War, I've found that a lot of decisions are kind of easy to make, sort of, like what you should do next. There have been points where I'm like kind of confused and I'm like, I don't really know what to do next. Like, nothing has really been clear. Like, nothing has really presented itself. But I'm kind of finding that now especially, a lot of stuff has been easy to choose, basically. So Vertihile was really like the key, I guess, to opening up opportunities, because so I had built my dragons team with my Reser, and then after I did that, I farmed dragons a little bit, DB10 with a Reser, and then I was realizing like, oh, my Bernard hasn't been sped up in a while and he kind of sucks, and then, my Lag Moran doesn't have any runes really, so I was like, let's get back into Giants and farm that a little bit. And I'll get a lot of other rune upgrades for, like, a lot of units, like Beretta, Shannon, what else? McKean. I mean, I was using McKean at that point, so I was like, I'll get, like, a lot of rune upgrades for other units. And Vero, because he's on energy runes, and then stuff like that. So I farmed Giants for a little bit, and then I pulled my Vertihile from Summoning Stones, so I was like, okay, it's very obvious to me that since I sped up my Bernard a lot from Giants, like I got a really good rune from Giants, I was like, okay, so I did a lot of work in Giants, and since I pulled my Verd, I think it's time to move back to Dragons. So I made a face Dragons team to go straight for the Dragon, and then I think now it's pretty clear that I should just farm Dragons quite a bit to get good Violent runes, and then since I was able to basically, as I was pushing into TOA Hard 50 and 60, I just used my units from TOA Normal, and then I was kind of getting stuck at that point, and then that was kind of the point that I found that I needed to actually build TOA Hard units, like, Vertihile and Mav. Well, I didn't have Vert at that point, but when I got him, I kind of figured out, oh, he's really good in TOA Hard. So Mav, Arya, Spectra, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'll build some of those units, then they kind of helped me progress a little bit further. And then since I am now in Dragons getting better runes, I think that'll help me push into 70 and 80 every month, and then maybe even 90 and 100. We'll have to see. That'll just come naturally with rune quality, I guess. So once I get better runes on my Mav, especially, 70 and 80 will be easy, and they'll be a lot faster, so I don't have to spend so much time on these levels every month, and even on the waves in between. So right now I'm kind of looking at improving those units, and then for summons, I'm looking to get a Briand eventually. I don't know if I'm looking to do it now, because Hua is coming up, and so is Orion, and that rotation looks a little bit better than the Briand rotation, and Hua is, like, really good for, like, a lot of stuff, so I'm kind of thinking about summoning for that rotation. Plus there's going to be, like, Shihua skill-ups, which could be good for Necro, because I pulled a Shihua. There's a Wind Nine-Tailed Fox in that rotation, so I'm also kind of thinking about summoning a Briand eventually. Briand is coming up soon, but the rotation's, like, pretty bad. The other Nat 4s are pretty bad, so I'm looking for a Briand to eventually auto TOA hard, but probably not for a while, but that would help now, too, because then I could auto the levels up to, like, this one, or, you know, like up to whatever, so I don't have to like spend so much time manualing and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at too. And then, of course, with dragons, with farming violent runes comes necro, because I'll be farming violent runes for my TOA hard units, and then I'll have enough to start runing up my necro monsters, so that could open up necro soon. We'll have to see. I think necro is still kind of like a late game thing. It's still kind of like extra runes. Of course, farming necro would help because it would take the burden off of runing some certain monsters. Like, once I start getting, you know, like Nemesis and Will runes, that'll help a little bit, because I can just put those runes on certain monsters that are hogging up other runes, I guess. So, yeah, that's kind of something, I guess, but still I think necro's kind of like a later thing. So week by week, I just play it week by week. We'll see what's going on, we'll see if I summon any new units, and we'll see what I need to build, and whatever makes sense to do most next. So maybe it could be TOA hard, level 100. We'll have to see how easy it is for me to progress into those higher levels and stuff like that. So eventually, with better rune quality, it will happen. It'll just take a while. So let me go ahead and skip ahead in this video, because this dude takes forever to kill. Well, for me, with my runes. I think if he brought Spectra, he'd probably die faster. Yay, we did it! So there's the Devilmon, yes! First time TOA hard level 70. Success. And I'll show you guys what my Devilmon goes on to in case you're curious. I'm Devilmoning my Galleon. Yay, time to loot, yes! So, he needs 1 more point in his first skill, and then 1 in his third. So I can actually buy a Devilmon right now, but I don't have enough glory points, so I think I'll put it on him. In the Brand rotation, there's also a Fire Pirate Captain. I already have 1 Fire Pirate Captain, and I like to keep 1 of every Nat 4. So if I do summon for Brand, I could possibly get a skill up for him for Galleon, so I might actually wait to Devilmon him to make sure that I'm not going to summon for the Brand rotation with the other Pirate Captain. We'll have to see. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. That's about all I have to say. So I will catch you guys in the next video.